Hello guys, this is R. I wasn't gonna do a political blog today, but I just found this Sean Hannity calling the president a liar. Outrageous. They just lost the last week the election, and now they're so blinded by their defeat that they're willing to go this far. What are they trying to get with this impeachment? I mean, let me know what you think, guys. But go ahead and listen to this, and let me know what you think.
You have this
Listen
final
to this.
document.
Now, General Petraeus' explosive testimony challenges the White House's stance on what happened from the very beginning, and it contradicts UN Ambassador Susan Rice, who 5 days after the attack made the rounds on all 5 Sunday talk shows. And remember, she was pushing the position that violence was in reaction to a YouTube video. Of course, what makes this scandal potentially historic in its reach and effect is the role of the president in all of this.
They're so
Now,
mad
every day,
about their
as more
defeat, they're
evidence
willing
comes
to do
out, it's
anything.
becoming more and more clear
Just take the
that
loss.
Barack
Wow,
Obama
this is
had
outrageous.
to know that there was mounting evidence that Al Qaeda was involved in this attack.
How did he know? He didn't
The
know.
Islamic video had nothing to do with the murder of
I'm
Ambassador
really getting
Stevens
upset at these
and
people
3
now.
others long before Obama continued to point blame at that 13-minute YouTube video. Now think about it this way. If Obama's CIA director knew almost instantaneously that an al-Qaeda affiliated group was responsible for the attack, if within 24 hours of the attack, the CIA station chief in Libya reported to Washington that there were eyewitness reports that the attack was carried out by militants, and if email shows that the officials at the White House and State Department were advised 2 hours after the attack that an Islamic militant group, Ansar al-Sharia, had claimed credit for them.
How long do you think this is going to go for? This guy's doing this.
That this attack on the 11th
So
of
blinded by
September
his loss.
against the U.S. consulate
The loser.
was a film protest gone awry. Think about it. Then it's nearly impossible to believe that President Obama didn't know. Oh, and did I mention the State Department was watching this unfold in real time? And when President Obama, in his absurd press conference, then tried to portray himself as coming to the defense of a damsel in distress, that being Susan Rice, he said, quote, "Republicans should come after me." Now, at that moment, he stumbled into a deeper and more damaging truth than he ever realized, because Republicans are rightly going after you, Mr. President, because the evidence is mounting that you and your administration knowingly and willfully misled the American people on the Benghazi massacre and lying to the American people,
And lied.
perhaps in order to get reelected.
Lied to get reelected. Can you believe this guy?
Now, with reaction, Texas Congressman
This guy,
Mike
they're never going to win another
Conway,
election in their
today's
life.
closed-door meeting
They
with
keep
General
doing this.
Petraeus, and the author of the brand new book, Heroes Proved, which is out next week, host of War Stories, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North. Gentlemen, welcome to Hannity.
Good to be with
Well,
you,
thanks,
Sean. Good to be with you.
All right, Congressman, bring us inside the room. What happened today?
Well, General Petraeus came to clarify some of the statements that he made in the September 14th briefing. But first, Con, let me make sure that we acknowledge the heroic activities that went on that night by our security forces. They saved lives. They put themselves at risk. And we need to acknowledge that the work that went on that night during the attack. General Petraeus came to us this morning in a very straightforward manner, laid out a timeline as to how the assessments that the CIA was making, the intelligence community was making, shifted over time. And it's pretty clear today that the administration kept up a line of logic that the attack on the temporary mission in Benghazi grew out of that protest. They knew long after they knew that wasn't the case. They maintained that fiction for a lot longer than they should have, and there now lies the next questions that I could ask, and that is why and who did it. It's clear that the CIA and the Intelligence Committee was giving them the right information at the right time with the right reasons, and whether the president simply wasn't.
The Republicans want to get Obama in trouble somehow. They want to blame this on Obama somehow. Out of the 5,000 people involved, they want Obama to be blamed.
Petraeus is saying they altered the talking points, and what they did is it was done by somebody in the White House, somebody close to the White House.
Well, or someone in the administration, somewhere between General Petraeus and the CIA, and where they finally ended up being broadcast by Ambassador Rice. Here's what's really important and strange. We now know the timeline in which the talking points were altered. We know that they were originally correct. What we don't know is what the administration did before, during, and after this event that would have in any way altered the outcome. In other words, going all the way back months to the original messages coming in.
Were they
What
this
was
outraged
done,
when 9/11
who
happened?
didn't
I don't
do,
remember them
and
being
then
this outraged
symbolized
after
for
9/11
Americans
happened.
in a diplomatic mission. And what you've now got, Sean, is
This
because
is
of
amazing.
Benghazi, you have
This
all
political
over
stuff
the
is getting
world
ridiculous.
radical Islamists saying America
Rush
is weak,
Limbaugh, Sean
America is in
Hannity, all these
disarray,
people.
America can be driven away. And they've got proof because they've got the buildings.
All right, guys,
burning
this is all I'm
up
going to
on all
post.
of their
Let's see a little bit
websites.
more of
Congressman, is
Hannity.
it possible, is it plausible in any way that Susan Rice 5 days after, now that what you have learned at this point, is it possible the White House didn't know? Is it possible the president didn't know this was a terror attack 2 weeks later? He was asked twice, 2 separate interviews, and we know the speech that he gave before the United Nations. Is it plausible to you?
It's plausible that perhaps Susan Rice didn't know on Sunday. There was obviously the talking points went up, having the right information, and there was some shifting on that, and so she was giving information that she then parroted out on those
Republican
Sunday talk shows.
Texas.
You would
I
hope
wonder.
there was someone in her position
Wonder what
would
he
have
wants.
enough professional skepticism that, given all the open source reporting that was
You
going
know,
on
this
during that
host,
time
this
frame, that she
radio
would
host
try to
people, they're
question
getting more
some of the things
polarizing than
that
ever.
she was told. Clearly, 2
This
weeks
is
later,
gonna,
the
they're gonna
president is
pay for
continuing
this in
fiction
the next
that he
election,
knew
the
or
next
should have known,
10 elections.
that was not out of the protest. In fact, there was no protest at all in front of that embassy, and that he should have known better.
Now, you were in the committee hearing meetings. There were videos of this. You had the drone video, and then you had the
Look at this
video
guy. Who does
that
he
you
think
were
he
able to get
is?
from inside the compound
He's not
itself.
a-
Can you
he's
tell
not a
us what was in
journalist.
those videos?
It's an entertainer.
Well, I'm not sure I'm supposed to tell you exactly those kind of things, but it's clear from the evidence, the entire body of evidence, that there was no protest at the embassy or at the temporary facility, and that there was a lot of activity going on. But it
I
wasn't
hope they
protest, it wasn't
finish this
demonstration.
investigation
It was
fast
a terrorist attack.
and shut
It should
this
have
guy
been labeled
down.
as a terrorist attack
Sean
from the very
Hannity.
start. And Sean, as you know,
Shut
these
him
people
up.
hate us. And to try to morph this into something that it wasn't we need to ask the president why he did that. What was his intent for doing that?
Look,
All right,
look,
Colonel
look.
North, then that raises the question.
What is-
If the
what
State
is he-
Department
who does he
watched
think
in
he
real
is?
time,
He's a
General
nobody.
Petraeus knew almost
He
instantaneously
lost
what this was.
the election. Now
The
they're so
I
blinded by the
ask you,
defeat is ridiculous.
Is it possible, is it plausible the President of the United States, who met an hour and 18 minutes after the
what he
attack
says.
began with one
gonna
of his
call the president a
generals
liar?
and
Let's see.
with
The
Secretary
commander-in-chief
of Defense
a liar?
Panetta?
Let's see.
Is it possible 2 weeks later he didn't
Well,
know?
anything's possible, lady.
Yes, because incompetence, malevolence, and misfeasance have been boundless in this administration.
He said yes,
And
it's possible.
entirely possible that this president has not been paying attention to the national
He told him it's
security
I
possible.
briefing.
can't believe that, Colonel. That's implausible to me.
Please. I worked for a president who every morning
He told
at
him-
8
he
o'clock
told him
he
it's
got a
possible.
briefing. It took him a total
That was
of
great,
45
guys.
minutes to make a decision to take down the aircraft that was escaping with the terrorists.
Obama
who
made a
hijacked the
decision to
Kilo
kill
Lolo.
Osama.
I know
How about
what it's
that?
like to work for a president who pays attention. That's not happened in this administration, Sean. And if it were happening, this event would not have transpired as it did. The cover-up would have been
Exactly.
unnecessary, and you might well have saved
He
4
told-
American
yes, it's
lives
possible.
and a diplomatic mission. All of that's happening right now in that part of the world is the direct consequence of that ineptness, incompetence, malevolence,
Wow.
and misfeasance.
This
All right,
president's
guys,
getting
thank you both for being
attacked
with us. We
so
appreciate
bad.
it. Now that we know
That's all I'm
that
gonna leave you
General
guys, but
Petraeus'
this is-
talking points for change.
It's
well,
amazing.
What does that mean for the future? We'll ask our military experts. Also,
They're gonna-
tonight,
they're
we're
gonna
watching 2 other
attack the
stories,
president
siren
so
sound
bad.
in Jerusalem and Palestinian
Wow.
militants
Okay, guys,
firing
have a good day.
rockets from
Talk to you
Gaza.
later.
The